1 Peter 2:24-25 says, "He himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, so that we might die to sins and live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. For you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls." The gravity of this verse never really hit me until my 6th grade year on my first mission trip. I was super excited. I had heard so many great things about this specific mission trip, but I never really expected it to be as life-changing as it ended up being. Up until that point, the depth of my relationship with the Lord was limited by my ability to understand just how great His love is and how life-altering it is when we choose to follow Him. During that mission trip, I was overwhelmed and ultimately changed by the realization that He is so real and He deserves all of me, my heart, soul, and mind. And so began this amazing love story. Many times throughout this story, I found myself trying to skip chapters, read ahead, or even worse, write it myself, because somehow I thought that my way was going to be better. But every single time I did this, I was failing to realize that I was writing outside the margins. These periods of time when I took over were filled with misery and discouragement rather than the fulfillment I was seeking. And that's what happens every time, right? We always know His plan is better, but we get this crazy idea that we think just might work. After graduation, God took my life in a completely different direction from what I always pictured. In the beginning, it was scary to give up my own vision for my future and let Him take control. But just like any time we sacrifice our own plans and lives to be used by Him, He takes us on an amazing journey that is far greater than we imagined. And it's greater because we're choosing to glorify Him, to trust Him, to love Him, and to live for Him. And only then are we truly fulfilled.
Growing up in church, I had the checklist memorized. I knew the things that Christians were supposed to do, that they were expected to do, and I knew the list of the things that Christians weren't supposed to do. So because of this checklist that I thought was God's plan, I knew exactly how I was supposed to act. So I went to church, I was a nice kid, people thought I was a good guy. I focused on living by this checklist all the time. I made this checklist my life. I made it my goal in what I did. I made it my life motto almost. But it was in high school where that changed. It changed because God showed me that I had a misunderstanding of myself, for one, but I also had a misunderstanding of Him. What I had misunderstood of Him was that I thought He was this guy there to correct me when I was wrong, to praise me when I was right, and He had given me this checklist of things that I was supposed to do, and if I didn't follow them, then I was going to be punished. But He showed me that that was wrong, that in reality, the Bible stories that I had memorized, the passages that I knew, and these truths that I thought I knew about Him, I really didn't understand. In reality, He's a God of love, a God of grace, one who desires to forgive. But He also showed me that I had a misunderstanding about myself. He showed me that I really wasn't anything. I had worked so long, and I realized that all of that had turned into this pride issue. I thought I was good. I thought I was earning things, but He showed me that I couldn't earn anything. All those stories came back to me, and I realized the true meaning of God showing His love and His grace was so that we would rely on Him, that we would put Him first. So it's been years since God showed me this. But that truth that I came across that weekend, what He showed me, still brings me peace today. And the reason it still brings me peace today is because it built in me a love and a desire for God, a love and desire to know Him. So I have this peace in me because I know that I can't do it myself. And while that can be depressing, I know that it actually gives me hope, because all along I never had the answer. All along I was never able to do it. But all along Jesus already had done it.